Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we've seen before the restart, the race leading 007 Apex, Alpine, has been involved in an incident, as the Cadillac MRE car number 10 has unlapped itself. The gap before the stream restart was around 95 seconds, now down to 87. So will this be enough for the MRE number 10 Cadillac to catch back up to the race leader? You will be seeing shortly. As for the shuffle back now in GT3, we have got the car number, the Phoenix car number 208 Aston Martin, with 11 seconds behind it. The ACRT car of number 197. That would be the McLaren, which is being chased by the same gap of 11 seconds down back the route number 24 Porsche 911. As for close battles that could brew up in LMP2, it could go on for the overall race lead, with the Sputnik car number 14 being 31 seconds behind the traditional SimSport 003 car. Get in. In. اللي شغال. هو بيلاقي جاهز مش عارف. ما هو لما يجي بقى صلاح مبقاش نلعب فيه. لا الموتور منفصل. طبعا الفيشة محطوطة بتاعته خلاص بتاعت. Okay, apologies viewers, we're back. As the gap between P1 and P2 still actually fluctuating. Or matter of fact going, yeah, it is in fact fluctuating. There could be a glitch with the live timing. But the gap appears to be stabilizing around 30 seconds, give or take. Matter of fact, it appears to be dropping. And that will be the traditional SimSport car actually going into the pits for a driver swap, it seems. With less than an hour and 5 minutes to go. In the meantime, in the race overall race lead, the car 007 now clawing back in terms of lap time to the Cadillac. That is up ahead, however on the position, the Cadillac still trying to catch up as the BMW here of Europroton trying to unlap itself. This car is in contention with the Reiter 176 Toyota. We're on board here with the BMW. Taking as much as they can from the slipstream as the WAP car number 29 completes their last of their long stops. That is the GT3 currently in P3. So that could actually produce another battle here as the Phoenix car chasing down the WAP car number 29, still on an outlap from their long stop, with the gap, as we can see here, dropping down ever so slightly. So the gap dropping here and there with every lap as the WAP car number 29 trying to get its tyres up to temperature and be the Ford, as the Ford here truck benefits a bit from the slipstream of the LMP2 up ahead of it. As we see here in the background, the Tradition Sim Sport car right behind it, as MOST Racing BMW car completes their final long stop. See here the Cadillac that is trying to catch up to the race leader. Going to be a tough task, but nothing is impossible in motorsport. And we're back on with the Phoenix Aston Martin, just 9 seconds behind the WAP car, was 11 seconds when the Ford Mustang exited the pit lane after its pit stop. As the as the Tradition Sim Sport 003 car serves their final long stop. They are currently P2 in LMP2, behind the Sputnik car number 14. So another battle we could have here in LMP2, that would be for P3. The final, that would be for P4, the final podium position in LMP2, between the VRT team and the that would be the car 103 and the Tradition Sim Sport car number 26, which we are on board with now. Another battle, however, in Hypercar, the Ferrari AFS, which has gone for a pit stop, while it was just 3.8 seconds behind the Soyuz 774 Vanwall. As the Curito car number 770, that would be the Peugeot, sees a drive-through for cutting. We're back here with the Phoenix, still taking time out of the WAP Mustang. Less than 8 seconds to the Mustang. You see here LMP2 going off track to overtake the two GT3s. The Aston tries to follow closely in order to catch up to the Mustang, but so far it does have the pace. Goes a bit off track here on exit, gets slowed down heavily. That will cost the Aston Martin a lot of time. After gaining up almost 3 seconds onto the Mustang, they now have to start the hard work all over again. It lost about a second or so to the Mustang. That will keep building up as they go down the straight, as the Curito 770 takes the drive through. So that is the Curito car now, as the Ferrari is having a long stop. Could pass the Ferrari on track as the Peugeot approaches the bus stop chicane. The Ferrari still being in the pit lane. less than 20 seconds left for them to be able to complete their long stop. So we could actually see a battle between the Peugeot and the Ferrari as MRE car number 10 serves that be the Cadillac serves their final long stop. That is the Peugeot over here, going to pass the Ferrari as a matter of fact for position on track. As the Peugeot passes the Ferrari, still in the pit lane movement. That is the Porsche of Flat E Racing, the car currently in third place, car number 23. Being chased by the Acura, not for position, however, as the AFS Porsche 991 receives a drive-through for track limits. As the AFS car number 27 serves their final long stop. That was the Ferrari that was in the pit lane. Now currently chasing the Carrito Peugeot that just passed it on track. So back here with the Tradition SimSport car number 26 closing in ever so slightly on the VRC car number 103 with less than 8 seconds. As for the WAP car number 29 now getting on the Sunset Outrun car that is just exiting the pit lane. Well, apologies, Sunset car will be having a driver swap, it seems. Yes, they in fact have a driver swap, so that pushes the Mustang of WAP up to second place, I believe. That would be. So the WAP car should be passing the Nissan as the VIG Audi 666 now heads into the pit lane. So now less than 1 hour to go of 23 hours of hard pure racing. We are less than an hour to go to the end of this magnificent and quite entertaining race. And so far it seems to be quite well in the grasps of the Apex 007 car. As for GT3, as for LMGT3, it appears to be up in the air as the Sunset car reconnects, still going up for their long stop, as well as the VIG car, which has just disconnected to do a driver swap as well. That is the Mustang, now ever so slightly catching up on the Sunset Nissan GTR. Not far off though, the Phoenix 208 Aston Martin, followed by the ACRT 197, that being the McLaren car. So we could be up here for quite an entertaining fight for LMGT3. As the Mustang here pushing as much as they can to get every inch of track. Or the Mustang of the Sunset Outrun still in the pit lane, so that would be for P2 as the VIG Audi 666 is also serving a long stop. This is the VIG Mustang and the Nissan GTR of Sunset Outrun. Be very close with these two. However, the WAP Mustang makes it through, and so I believe will the Phoenix car. So that would push Sunset Outrun down the order now, as the ACRT car will be looking to pass the Sunset car before the exit the pit lane. And as a matter of fact, the ACRT car will be out, I believe, quite behind the Sunset entry. Matter of fact, the Sunset entry is a bit behind now. Not quite sure if this is a glitch or not. I believe that would put the Sunset car actually a lap behind the cars ahead of it. So that McLaren will actually be lapping the Sunset Alpine car, which has dropped now after selling their long stop down into P6 in LMGT3. With the ACRT car 073 still trying to catch up to the Mimosa car number 917. As the 666 VIG, the current race leader of LMGT3, takes the final long stop of the race, as the Ferrari of AFS passes the Audi. As the white car number 24 receives a drive-through for track limits, that would be the LMGT3 Porsche of racing. So that would certainly benefit the Sunset Outrun car, currently chasing down the E-Racing Porsche. The Porsche, I believe, might have been involved in an incident causing the lap time to go actually quite a bit down. Or apologies, the delta and the gap to the Sunset car. So that is definitely not helping the E-Racing entry, as they still have to serve a drive-through. As for P3, it couldn't be any closer for the cars with less than an hour to go. The Phoenix 208, the ACRT 197, and the Ford Mustang car number 29 all battling for P2 as a matter of fact. So that would be for P2, P3, and P4 for the three cars up ahead. commentary. Well, as you've seen, we've had some bit of chaotic incidents at the bar stop chicane, as well as turn one that involved the Mustang of car number 29, the WAP entry, causing it to fall behind the ACRT car number 197, which itself had its own incidents. So we are now, the Mustang is trying to recover from the incident it had been involved in. Now, as you've seen here, the WAP car number 29 managed to get by the ACRT McLaren, now back in second place. So as you can see here, much better live timing here, so we can see where the incidents occur and when they occur. Okay, as we see now here, the gap's now finally starting to stabilize as we are entering the final stage of the race, as the NGS 274 serves their final long stop. That is the Corvette, way down the order in LMGT3. So the Sunset car here trying to recover from the drive-through they have received, as the race now seems to stabilize with less than 30 minutes to go. We could have, however, a battle here as the Sputnik racing car is chasing down the SRR Ferrari car number 117. Gap appears to be dropping ever so slightly. In the meantime, we could have a battle here for P3 as the Tradition Sim Sport car is chasing down the VRT car number 103 Velociraptor Racing Team car. That would be for 3rd place. As the Tradition Simsport car, still 1 minute and 20 seconds behind the Sputnik car, the leader in LMP2. As the LMH Peugeot of Kirito Racing, 30 seconds behind the 27 AFS, now has received a drive-through for track limits, which could possibly put a halt to the start. As the ACRT car number 31 is off the track, and so is the SRR car number 107 is off the track at turn 1. Not quite the place you want to be spun around, as the car tries to recover, as the Sputnik Racing now takes the place away from the SRR car number 117. So quite two incidents here happening in 2 different places, as the ACRT LMP2 is back up to speed behind its sister car McLaren in the novel class. Could have here the AMA car, however, chasing down the ACRT entry. That would be for 5th place. So the teams would love to make as many positions, even if it's not podium position, or a win due to the point system that would be implemented. So every position matters in this race. As we have here an incident for the car number 24, that is the Porsche 911 of White E Racing, the car that is ahead of the Mimosa entry Lamborghini, although that Lamborghini is 2 laps behind that Porsche, so they shouldn't be harmed that much. On the other hand, the Sunset Engine car, the car number 722 now, 33 seconds behind the Phoenix of the Aston Martin car number 208. So we could potentially have another battle here, bro, if anything goes wrong for the Aston Martin up in front. And same applies to the ACRT car, the car that was in 3rd place actually, now down the order. And behind the was in 2nd place until they had an incident, I believe, to the Ford number 29, which took advantage of the incident that hit the ACRT car. As for the AMA car, still chasing in hot pursuit of the ACRT car for 5th place in LMP2, with the Tradition Simsport car number 26 still chasing the Velociraptor Racing Team entry for 3rd place in LMP2. So the race pretty much stabilising here in terms of gaps. So we're back here with the race leading Apex 007, which has proved to be the dominant force in this race. 2 laps ahead of the car in P2, with the Cadillac of number 10 putting in respectable performance as well. 2 laps itself ahead of the Rat Racing Porsche in P3. And the Rat Racing Porsche as well putting quite a strong performance. Whilst they did have a race plagued with incidents, which probably put a wrench in their plans, putting them 2 laps down themselves behind the car in P2. So essentially 2 laps separating each of the podium scorers in quite behind, as the Kirito Peugeot takes the drive-through penalty for track laps. Now we see here the AMA LMP2 now closing in on the LMP2 of ACRT car number 31. It gets ever so slightly closer as they approach the bus stop chicane. The AMA car will, however, would not catch frankly most Lamborghini, so they would have a clear run through the bus stop chicane. So the car number, ACRT car number 58, that is the Audi out of contention, receives a drive-through penalty. less than 20 minutes to go to our 24-hour race, our first round of mainly of the Endurance Masters track. Tradition Simsport entry still chasing down the ACRT car, the Velociraptor Racing Team car off number 103, still for the final podium position in LMP2. With the AMA entry itself, car number 35 chasing down the 31 car of ACRT, and lockdown is this side, however, as the ACRT Audi takes the drive-through they have received for track limits. Matter of fact, the Tradition Simsport is currently now closer than ever to the Velociraptor Racing Team entry, however it is pulling away quite a bit. Not to mention the Corvette that the LMP2 has to go out wide to evade, gets held back as well. That will cost the Simsport team a lot of time on the Velociraptor Racing Team car. So that is not what they want to have, as the Lamborghini car number 714 gets spun around with the Corvette still behind it. Lamborghini will have to reverse. Hopefully there is in fact oncoming traffic for the Lamborghini, as he tries to get back on track. Not sure if there was contact there with the Corvette car number 274. Well, that is quite unfortunate for the Lamborghini. However, it is quite safe as the car behind is a lap down. That is the Soyuz Racing 774 Van Wall car. Now still hot pursuit, the Tradition Simsport car still not giving up on P3, as they are still chasing down the Velociraptor Racing Team entry. So now here a change, as a matter of fact, for position, as the Mustang, I believe, exits the pit lane, if I'm not mistaken, as the ACRT car now inherits the podium position, inherits P2. So the MOST car receives a drive-through for rack limits. As we see here, another battle brewing for P5, the AMA entry against the ACRT entry. Car number 31 and 35. Still going together and at the fourth position as we mentioned. So the battle still going strong here for two positions in LMP2. Well, not far behind actually, the Mustang, the car number 29, as the ACRT car number 73, the Mercedes currently running in LMGT3, has received a drive-through for track limits, while the Mustang here will be trying to get back to second position that they have lost due to a pit stop. As here a car goes into, as the Mercedes that goes to serve their drive-through. As we can see here, the McLaren ahead of the Ford Mustang. Getting ever so closer, the AMA LMP2 car number 35 still in hot pursuit of the car number 31 of ACRT. That is in fact for P5. So still chasing down that ACRT entry, less than 2 seconds now behind the ACRT car. The ACRT car appears to have had a bit of traffic ahead of it. That could possibly be the Porsche of AFS Racing. Apologies, I'm the E-Racing Porsche. So still chasing down the ACRT entry, as we can see the car entering the turn 1. So less than 2 seconds separating the two cars. As we go back to LMGT3, the Ford falling a bit losing a bit of time to the McLaren in P2. which in itself is behind the 666 Audi, which is a lap ahead for the lead. So the leads in each class appearing to have almost been decided now, with the Apex LMH 007 car being 2 laps ahead, and the LMP2 entry of Sputnik being car number 14 is a lap ahead. Not to mention the VIG 666, which have made a beautiful recovery drive from the many incidents earlier during the race. As the Ford Mustang falls further, losing even more time to the car up in front, the McLaren. As the battle still ensuing, the car number 35, the LMP2, still chasing down the ACF car, which will be held down a bit by traffic. So not the best ways to get stuck behind LMGT3 car. As now closer than ever, the car number 35 of AMA catching up now, and getting, matter of fact, getting slipstream from the LMGT3 ahead of it, so catching up less than a second and a half to the ACRT LMP2. Now even tucking behind, I would argue that is the Toyota down right to car number 176. So trying to chase down the ACRT car less than a second and a half to the car. So getting ever so slightly closer. As the ACRT car has even further traffic to deal with down the second 4th street. So getting down there, still chasing down the ACRT car. Will it be stuck? Thankfully it clears the LMGT3 right before the entry to the second oval, but so does the other car of AMA. They do get a clear exit. Matter of fact, they could get a bit of slipstream. I don't think it's sufficient though to give them an advantage behind the Reiter Toyota, which in itself gets a slipstream from the car number 31, the ACRT entry. But this is the close battle we have so far. As we have another battle that could brew up in LMGT3 117, recovering from its spin earlier, trying to catch up to the 122 ACRT, Sputnik Ferrari. You can see the Ferraris are being chased up by an Acura, but that is, however, not for position. So the battle for P3, the Velociraptor Racing Team being chased down by Tradition Simsport, seems to have calmed down now, as the Tradition Simsport entry appears to be losing pace now and losing time to the car up ahead. The gap going from 2 seconds now up to 5 seconds. Now the same applies to the chasing Ford Mustang, now almost 6 seconds behind the ACRT McLaren. With the only battle seeming to be still going on to be the ACRT car 71 being chased by the AMA entry. However, anything could happen for any of the entries still battling, so stay tuned. With now almost less than 10 minutes to go to the end of the 24-hour race, the 24 hours of Daytona. Now tucking behind the LMGT3 of ACRT car number 73. And still chasing down the ACRT entry, not willing to give up whatsoever. Now the Rat Racing car number 24, the Porsche, running behind the Sunset Outrun car, has a 20-second pop and go from race direction that will cost them a bit of time. They should, not quite sure if that will benefit the Mimosa car number 917. There are 2 laps behind, but in fact it could potentially benefit them. We will have to see when the car says its stop and go penalty. So now less than 10 minutes to go to the end of the race. As we are now in the race leading Alpine LMH car number 007 of Apex Racing, Apex Evo. The car now going through the bus stop chicane, completing almost to pass now and complete the 884th lap of this race. Now the AMA car appears to be losing quite a bit of time to the car up ahead for 5th place, car number 31, gaining a bit of time on the 35 entry. As the LMH car Douglas 077 sets their fastest personal fastest lap of the race. And still chasing the AMA entry, chasing down the ACRT car up ahead, which could have a bit of traffic to contend with into the bus stop chicane. Doesn't get hurt that much, however, but it does certainly benefit the AMA entry car, especially with a bit of slipstream to go. Traditional Simsport entry still chasing down the Velociraptor Racing Team car, however still 6th second as the Batty Racing take their stop and go, and the Sunset 722 car heads into the pit lane. So that should put up the Batty Racing entry back in 4th place, or at least 5th place. Matter of fact, you could get an interesting battle here, as the Sunset Outrun car now exits the pit lane. And the LMH Cargo 729, the Clicking House, receives a drive-through for track clearance. So quite far from each other, the two entries. The Sunset and the Ratty Racing car that had to serve a bit of a penalty, puts it quite on the back foot for this race. As for the AMA entry, still chasing down the ACRT car, number 31. Still not quite there and still got some traffic to contend with. So trying to clear the traffic, the best place to clear traffic down the banking of the main stretch, as the AMA car number 35 still chasing and still not giving up on catching the ACRT entry. The ACRT car, will it have some traffic to contend with? It in fact clears the traffic before the infield. However, that could not be said for the AMA entry, which has unfortunately to deal with traffic for the infield section. That will put it at once again on the back foot. It could possibly lose time once again. As the AMA car does a bit wide, still keeps it clean and keeps it safe, and should pass the Porsche now before the King, or could not have in front of the so tucks in behind the Porsche. That however does cost the AMA car 7/10 only this lap, just behind traffic in the infield, and the gap goes up to almost 4 seconds. So traditional Simsport car appears to have gained 5/10 on the Velociraptor Racing Team. Just barely enough, but will it be enough as we are now entering the final 5 minutes of the 24 hours of Daytona, with almost 24 hours of racing cleared through day and night. Now the gap goes back up to 5, because actually goes a bit down now, with Velociraptor Team Tradition Sport car gaining on the Velociraptor Racing Team. Will it be enough as the LMH car, the Porsche, now receives a drive-through penalty, with the Toyota behind it only being a lap down. So will this be enough for the Toyota to gain and potentially get a big win? Apologies, that was the 24 Porsche, that is the GT3 entry. No, that is in fact the 23, that was the LMH car that received a drive-through. Not quite sure will it be enough for the Toyota to catch the Porsche in P3, but we will see. As the chasing AMA still not giving up, trying to catch the ACRC with only 4 minutes to go. Will it be enough? Will there be any surprise incidents happening to any of the cars that are running close in contention? As the car here ducks behind the Kirito Peugeot, running currently second last in LMH. As the WAC car now goes to clear its drive-through penalty, Peugeot, the Toyota, is still going to unlap itself, so that won't be enough for the Toyota to take advantage of the drive-through that the Porsche has received. With only 3 minutes to go for the 24-hour race. As they clear their drive-through, the Toyota is still not close enough to the Porsche to capitalise on that drive-through. As Tradition SimSport now gaining ever so slightly once again on the Velociraptor racing team, less than 5 seconds to P3 potentially. So now ducking behind traffic, trying to get as much as time advantage possible. As we see here, the first form of the 17 long stops. For some reason, not quite sure why we get 17 long stops. But as we see here, the Kirito Peugeot was involved in an incident. Not quite sure, as the AMA car actually overtakes the ACRT entry was involved in the incident with the Kirito Peugeot, and the AMA takes P5 from ACRT. So that is quite unfortunate for the ACRT entry, which I believe was involved in an incident with the Kirito Peugeot, as the ACRT entry now falls down to 6th place in LMP2. So the AMA finally passes the LMP2 entry of ACRT to the dismay of the team. With less, potentially that being the white flag, depends where the race leader is. I believe that is the main stretch to get onto the bus stop chicane. So white flag this lap. As the Reiter Toyota still not quite there to catch up to the Porsche, and the Tradition SimSport car still chasing down the car number 103 of the Velociraptor Racing Team for P3. So Tradition SimSport trying to get as much slipstream as possible from the cars up ahead, trying to gain as much time as they possibly can. Well, they are potentially gaining time. The Velociraptor Racing Team cars still up ahead going through the bus stop chicane. As we are white flag this lap, and still chasing down the car. Tradition SimSport still chasing down, actually gaining up now, has gained 5/10 on the car up ahead the Velociraptor Racing Team. So 2.5 seconds close. But will it be enough as we are entering the final lap of the 24 hours of Daytona? So still gaining up actually on the Velociraptor Racing Team, and the Velociraptor Racing Team has traffic to contend with in the infield. A lot of traffic as a matter of fact. Will this be enough for the Tradition SimSport to capitalise as they are chasing down now the Sunset Altron, the Nissan GTR? Traditional SimSport still chasing down the Velociraptor Racing Team. Will it be enough? This is the final lap of the race. Apologies, this is white flag. As we see here, these two spun out, and the Soyuz and the ILT car are involved in this incident. The ILT car has been turned around. This could potentially come into the hands of the Tradition SimSport car number 26. This is in fact not the final lap, but white flag. So could it be enough for the Tradition SimSport car? In fact, it is checkered flag. So this is the final lap for P3 in LMP2. Velociraptor Racing Team seems to have it, unless any incidents are to happen, as the race leader wins the LMH of 007, wins the 24 hours of Daytona, with P2 the car number 10 Cadillac securing P2. Still, however, for P3, the final position not quite close enough, and the Velociraptor Racing Team has, I believe, run out of fuel. The Velociraptor Racing Team has run out of fuel. I'm not quite sure what happened, but in the nick of time, the Tradition SimSport car takes P3. not really sure what happened to the Velociraptor Racing Team car here. Did they run out of fuel? It looks like it. That is quite unfortunate for the team that was running so well in P3. Unfortunately, it was involved in an incident, as we see here, one of the LMP2s now spun out on the bus-stop chicane. As we see here, the Audi VIG, the 666 now about to cross the checkered flag, about to cross the finish line now for P1 for the LMGT3 race win. Not the best start for them, but they managed to make the best of it, and they win the 24 Hours of Daytona for LMGT3. Winning for the P2 class is the Sputnik car number 14, with almost a lap ahead of the car behind. So quite an enticing race, and very, very unfortunate for the Velociraptor Racing Team car, which has run out of fuel. That is not what you want to see for the car. That is so unfortunate, running out of fuel right on the last second. And hey, you've got to feel for the team. That is so unfortunate. But congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to the LMH car number 007 for winning the race. The 000. As we see here, cars celebrating the quite entertaining and full of action-packed race. The players doing celebratory donuts, and congratulations to the race winners, the 007 LMH Apex. We almost got 900 laps of racing. 889 laps is what we got from this entertaining and beautiful race. Congratulations to the 014 LMP2 Sputnik that has won LMP2 class, and the 666 Audi VIG. See here the two cars, P1 and P2, at the start of the pit lane. That is for LMH. The 007 Alpine on the right, the race winner, quite a dominant performance, and the 010 Cadillac on the left. That was the cars entering the pit lane. Currently the camera is on free cam to focus on the cars. The race winners and the podium scorers should head into the pit lane and align in order, so we are awaiting that. So the top 3 cars in LMH should line up at the end of the pit lane, followed by the top 3 cars in LMP2, as well as the LMGT3 entries. So we are just awaiting the Porsche of WAE Racing, which is in fact in the pit lane. But yeah, is in fact coming here, waving around, celebrating the P3 in LMH. So these are the top 3 scorers for our race, our 24 Hours of Daytona. The LMH 007 providing quite a dominant performance here, winning the 24 Hours. In P2, the 010 Cadillac of MRE Racing Team, performing quite strongly in this action-packed race, followed by the WAE Racing Porsche 23, which gets the final podium position for LMH. Quite an entertaining race here, and well done by all the drivers, action-packed to the last second, as we are now watching the top 3 cars in LMH. As for the top scorers in LMP2, we have the Sputnik car number 014, the race winning car, followed by in P2 the 003 Tradition Simsport. Simsport actually has managed to bag themselves P2 and P3, so 2-3 for the Tradition Simsport team, after the dismay of the Velociraptor Racing Team by running out of fuel just before the finishing line. They themselves get themselves P4. As for the LMG3, the 666 VIG Audi, with a stellar performance coming back from many incidents early in the race, winning the class in LMG3. In P2, the ACRT car, the number 197 McLaren, winning on strategy against the Ford Mustang, car number 29, which had to go for a very late pit stop, which costed them second place. Mustang themselves, the WAP racing car, providing a strong race themselves, getting themselves P3. Okay, now we will be interviewing the race winners from each class, with the driver each from the classes. So the drivers will be with us shortly for our interview. So now we will be interviewing the race winning car, the 007 LMH Apex. And now we are waiting for the drivers to join the voice channel. Okay, joining us here is Adrian Bernard and Avro Alvarez, I believe the 007 LMH Apex race winners. So, how's the race?
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, it was eventful. We had quite a bit of problems, to be honest, like from disconnects to just misunderstandings on track, I would call it maybe. But in the end, it seems like the other side meant maybe even more problems than we had. And so, yeah, it worked out for us. And yeah.
Yeah, quite dominant performance as well, winning the race by, 2 laps, was it, or 3?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had the pace. We still have to work on the consistency and the overtaking, especially the OS front row, for example. I know I did some overtakes on them, which I regret now looking back at it. Yeah, sorry to them. But yeah, I will definitely look out more the next time. And yeah, I hope to improve even more for Interlagos.
Yeah, well, stellar performance from you guys. Alvarez, how was it on your end?
Yeah, the race was very interesting. There was a lot of drama, but all around it went well for us. Yeah, could be better, but
Yeah.
it was all right.
Yeah, that was a quite dominant performance by you guys. Congratulations for the well-deserved race win.
Thank you.
And hoping to see yet another impressive performance in the second round in Interlagos.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
me too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
So now we will be interviewing the LMP2 drivers, the race-winning car of Sputnik, car 014. Okay, we have now the race-winning driver of the car number 014, the Sputnik racing team. How was your experience? How was the race?
Hello, it was very cool racing. All race from house number 4 we was have first position, but we was had very hard start. We was dropping back to P5, and we had a lot of work in start of race.
Yeah, but what a recovery drive by you guys, ended up winning the race by one lap on the car in second.
Yeah, this was very hard finish because in last two house we take stop and go penalty, 40 seconds, and this is was very risky.
Yeah, it costed you guys a lot, but you still came back after it.
Yeah,
Quite impressive.
yeah, but our driver could take stable pace and all okay.
Yeah, that was once again quite an impressive performance by you guys, and what a comeback, to be fair. And congratulations to the LMP2 win. We're hoping to see
Thank you.
another performance like that in Interlagos. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, have a nice day.
thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, now we are joined by the drivers of the 666 Audi, the car that was seeming at some point during the race to be out of contention, ended up winning the race now by a lap. What a stunning turnaround. How was your race, guys?
First of all, hi to everybody. It was a tough race. We start with a big collision with our team member in the hypercar that caused us a big damage, but I guess that the key of the race was denied because our teammate make 2 times triple stint and make a huge work, and I guess that was the big key for our victory. So we avoided the cutting on the track. We never take a drive-through for cut, and also that one was a big advantage to the other car. So everything was work well for us for all the night, and especially in the middle of the race. It was really constant on the time on the track and avoid the crash and avoid the traffic. So you know everything will in the right direction, and you can take a win easy.
Yeah, that was a stunning night stint by you guys. That was truly the turnaround moment for your race, and as you said, preventing the drive-throughs was actually quite the key. As we've seen in the race, a lot of drive-throughs today.
Yeah.
So well done on you guys for preventing those, and honestly, what a performance. Matteo, how was it on your end?
It was pretty nervous. I was pretty nervous, but we discussed in the vocal chat to try to avoid any risks, keep it all clean, avoid the last cut for the drive-through. So they try to keep me calm, and it worked well. So yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to you guys. What a performance, honestly, and what a comeback, to be fair. And congratulations on your race win. We're hoping to see you next time in Interlagos with yet another impressive performance.
Thank
Thank you.
to you and or your member for the organization, because for us it was a really funny 24 hours.
Yeah,
And good behavior on tracks, and also for the other competitors. Almost everybody make a clean race, so that's important for fun and for everybody. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the impressive racing, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So now we have rounded up our interviews for the race winners, and congratulations to all the race winners. Quite an entertaining race, to say the least, and impressive performance by everyone. Alright guys, thank you very much for tuning with us for this very entertaining 24 hours round of Daytona. We will be hoping for you to join us for the next round in Interlagos, and I believe Sasha Gerrard's will carry on from here. I would like to personally thank every driver for the impressive and rather entertaining racing and huge standards by everyone. I would also like to thank the moderation and race directing for keeping up with the drivers and quite literally keeping up with all the incidents that we have seen. We're hoping to see yet another entertaining round, and I believe Sasha will carry on from here.
No, I just wanted to quit the stream. So thanks to everyone.
Okay.
See you guys.
That's you.